Do you know the top 10 music trends? Have you seen the new music videos everyone is talking about? Do you know how your favorite artist makes their music? I'm moving, but they be bluffing and puffing and they be screaming and yapping, some even feeling and bragging. First thing is, I'm patient. That talented upcoming artist in your area needs the spotlight. Let them be our unsung star. Do you have any questions about music? I'm Jason Delay, and I'm a music plug on MX Chart right here on MX24.
Hi there, I'm excited to come your way with football conversations, sports-related conversations, light-hearted, lifestyle-related conversations about the sport that we all love and are passionate about. Make a date with me.
Shut up and bend over, eh? And let your backer do the talking over. So back up, back up.
You guys are doing beyond what a regular would do, and I'm attracted more to that. I like people who want to do something different, you know, not the usual TV.
What's up, guys? Your boy Kiddy, aka the Golden Boy, aka Sugar Daddy. Catch me on MX24.
It is fun, it is fearless, it is factual.
And welcome back to the AM Club. We are live from our studio here at the Silicon Square in East Lagos. My name is Godwin Namboh. Remember, the hashtag for this show is the AM Club. So when you're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and you're commenting on the show today, remember to hashtag AM Club or the AM Club. Also, it's Monday, so we have a hashtag Monday Motivation. But it's time for Lifestyle Daily, and we are going to get into our topic. Now, plastic waste is a huge menace and unfortunately a major part of our daily lives. I'm sure we've all seen the piles of waste, you know, by the roadsides, in gutters, non-designated waste sites and all that. So it's a serious trend that is even more evident whenever it rains. And the consequences are dire, a global effects on the environment and the negative impact on public health and safety. So the question is, what's being done to control this? And most importantly, what can we do in our own small way beyond the hashtag #GetABin that is trending on social media? I think it started last week when citizens started, or Ghanaians started hashtagging #GetABin, and that is because the rains are here. We are seeing piles of rubbish again, as we do every year, and I think it's high time something is done about this particular menace, and that's why we're having this discussion. And I'm excited to say that I have an environmental expert in the studio with me. He's in the person of Jason, yes, Julius Jason, Mr. Julius Jason. Thank you for joining us on the AM Club. You're an official AM Club member now.
Thank you for having me. I'm grateful.
Wonderful. Also, we have on Zoom or via Zoom, we'll be talking to, you know her, I know her. She's the African mermaid. She's a waste management advocate. She's a musician. Sister Debbie is joining us via Zoom. She's promoting the hashtag, I want to be sure, refuse or refuse. Refuse, reuse, and recycle. That's the hashtag. Refuse. Is it refuse or refuse?
Definitely refuse.
Refuse. I wanted to be sure. So refuse, recycle, and reuse. That's the hashtag that is going on, Sister Debbie's advocacy. And also we have Director of Waste Management at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly in the person of Engineer Solomon Noy Ajiman Nuete. I'm sure I got the name right. Sir?
Yes, please.
Wonderful. So I'll ask you all the same question, but let me begin with the gentleman in the studio, Julius J. Singh, and ask you how prominent you think the challenge of waste management is in this country.
Yeah, I think it's quite crazy. We having a lot of issues, and if you are to be very honest about the interventions in place, Unfortunately, I will not say much than just say we are not doing too much to mitigate the situation. And we are eventually going to be engulfed in lots of refuse if this is the pace we keep on going and if these are the only initiatives that we are going to use to combat the situation.
Mr. David, do you share the same sentiment?
Yes, I do.
How prominent is the issue for you? Yeah.
I think it's extremely serious, especially the plastic waste. You go to the beach and the waves are full of single-use plastics. You know, the black rubber bags, the one we call black poly, black poly. Every wave comes with like hundreds of them. And I found out recently from Gasmilla that our drainage from, the coastal areas actually goes into the sea. And that is the worst thing that we could do.
Okay, let me ask Engineer Solomon. He's with the AMA, so he would also be in on this particular one. Engineer, so where is this coming from? Every year we see this. Where is this challenge coming from? These plastic waste menace that we see after it rains. Where is it coming from? Hello, Engineer, can you hear me? Engineer, if you could unmute yourself, we'll be very grateful. I think you've muted.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, sir.
Yes, so thank you very much for the opportunity. The issue is our waste characterization, that is the waste composition, keeps changing. Hitherto, the dynamics was such that our waste characterization was made up of about 80% organics. And then about some 4%, 5% plastics. But that was the time or era where we were using paper bags for all our things, and then we were using leaves for packaging of food and others. Now the trend has changed completely. So we are into plastics, and if you ask me where is it coming from, we import virgin products made of petrochemicals that are used in the different grades of polymers that we find in the polythene bags, the HDPE, and all the different categories of plastics which are serving in the packaging industry. And currently, it's so bad that even we buy food, fufu, very hot soup, banku, anything, we package them in these poly bags. And this is what is creating the problem, because if you say recycle, yes, but once you package such contaminants into such polybins, it means the person who is going to take them back to recycle must have to spend energy in the form of electricity and water, scarce water, to clean them up before drying again and then putting them back into the processing bit. And this makes it not cost effective. You can't even break even, let alone making profits. And so most often than not, it is not all the plastic waste, especially the black polybins, the one we popularly term as Eriasmusu. They are very light and they find themselves into the depressions of drainage systems that eventually empties into the ocean and creates too much problem. Currently, we have to even fight the problem of microplastics that are invading our oceans all over the place.
But engineer, this is going to be with us whether we like it or not. Packaging is always going to evolve. We're going to have, rubbers, plastics with us. But what is the challenge? Why do we find these, like you said, in the oceans, on the streets? Is it an issue of indiscipline that Ghanaians are not dropping waste in bins? Is that the problem, or what is the problem? Why do we see these things on our streets?
Yes, there are several factors. One, in as much as we blame the citizenry for poor attitude by not patronizing bins to place such waste that they make into them, we are also partly to blame. If I say we, I may say the government, because we need to also provide the needed infrastructure, where if we are saying we should practice very sound waste management practices, then it means in as much as we are getting the bins, we should show them where to send the different categories of the waste to. Certainly, if we mix everything together with us, so segregating them, it makes processing very difficult, like I explained earlier on. So if you mix everything together, even if the person has one bin, it means the organics, the leftover of the fufu, leftover of the kokonte or whatever, will contaminate the plastics. So it means if it goes into the processing plant, currently we have one processing plant along the Mortuary Road, Areco, where it is a PPP arrangement between Accra Metropolitan Assembly and Jospon Group of Companies or Zoomline. Right. They started operations and we send mixed waste there. But we also have very high viscosity of our waste. If I say viscosity, I'm talking about the moisture content very high, and it is also sticky. So you find out that this organic waste, which is contaminating the plastics, also sticks to it to the extent that you find a lot of plastic waste that has been segregated by the machine or the equipment, but it is also very dirty. And once it is dirty, it means, yes, it cannot even be used as refuse-derived fuel for our boilers or other factories if we want to turn them into other alternative sources of fuel for industry to use. It means you must clean them up. And so this is the issue. We must also make sure that the needed infrastructure is put in place for the private sector to leverage on to be able to get the things right. If we don't start from there, yes, we'll be shooting ourselves in the foot.
Okay, right. Thank you very much. Let me also mention that we've been joined via Zoom by Sister Debbie's brother and also an advocate of the refuse, reuse, recycle advocacy that is going on. One Love, the Kobolo, who is also a musician, has joined us in this conversation. He's very passionate about this particular topic. But before I go to One Love, let me come back to you, who is an environmentalist, Julius, and ask you how harmful these waste materials are to our environment or to our system.
Yeah, waste in essence is supposed to be called materials in transition, and by what I mean is they are materials that get used from one cycle to the other along the waste management value chain. If you look at the waste management hierarchy, I'm sure we'll talk about that, but it is very harmful. From what engineer is saying, the waste is contaminated, they are all put in one dustbin. And I'm very excited that he brings to fore that we need to look at segregation and the rest. In fact, do you know the reason most of our students perform remarkably well when they go outside? We have lots of ideas, but in terms of action, it's zero. We are seeing initiative, get a bin, get a bin, get a bin. Source segregation is you putting your plastic waste here, you having your organic waste here, you having your paper waste and what have you. But now we are going to get a bin. You get a bin. So how then do you get to separate? So we're just recycling the same problem over and over again. The initiatives, he mentions that our waste classification has changed. Research has proven that we are aware of this. So what we are supposed to do as leaders in this particular spaces, lifestyle has changed. Those days when my father sends me to buy food, I'm going to go with a bowl. Now I come back with a pack or sachet. So our initiatives are essentially also supposed to change. So that way we get to tackle the problems as and when they come. But now we are going with the conventional Kwame Nkrumah time of using a dustbin. And that's not going to work. Okay.
You mentioned action, so let's talk about actionable steps you are taking. But let me ask One Love and Sister Debbie, but One Love, you first. You have been on this for a while now. What actionable steps do you think we need to take to deal with this particular menace?
I greet everybody. Hope everybody's cool.
We are well.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so I and my sister live together and we make sure that our organic waste is composted and the little plastic waste that we make, we gather it and dispose of it how we deem is the most correct way by people who come to pick up the trash. We try to use as little plastic as possible, because I for one believe that the only way to deal with this plastic menace is to have single-use plastic banned in Ghana. I don't feel there's any other way that is workable, because even in the countries where they recycle plastic, they are not recycling more than, they say in the world, we haven't recycled more than 10% of plastic that has been produced. And more people are coming to the realization that we will never be able to fully or totally, or I mean, even close to reach, let's say even 20% of plastic to be recycled in the world. So I feel the only thing we can do in Ghana is to ban plastic. And as individuals, what we can do in preparation of that, apart from asking for it to happen, is to tune our lifestyles to where we are almost non-dependent on single-use plastic, which means when you're going to the market, you take your basket, you take a tote bag made of cloth, recycled material. When you're buying drinks, you make sure your drink is coming in a glass bottle. So just trying to do the most possible. When you're buying fruits, you carry it in your hand instead of in rubber. When you're going to buy cocoa, you take a flask. Try and live your life without plastic as much as possible. Wow. Because we have to educate ourselves that the plastic we are seeing at the beach, Labadi, where you go and pay big money to go to the beach and you see all this rubber coming to swim with you, and the rubber hasn't paid any money. All that rubber is coming from the way we are behaving with plastic. We use rubber for less than 10 seconds. When we are buying yogurt, we'll take it in white rubber and black rubber, and within 3 minutes, we have thrown everything away. So we are using plastic.
Sorry to interject. Yeah. But how realistic is this advocacy? How realistic is it? Do you really see it happening in this part of the world?
I have no hope for the Ghanaian government, that's for sure. But I've seen it done by human beings in countries like Rwanda, Kenya. I'm seeing them banning plastic. And Rwanda is one very shining example to the world right now. And I feel people in Rwanda are human beings just like us. So that's where I get my hope from.
Yeah, definitely it's possible. So it's possible. It's possible for it to happen in Ghana. It's possible.
Yes, I feel it is. Yes, but my hope for it. Yeah, I feel we should just prepare ourselves, hoping and fighting for it to happen, and prepare ourselves to not be also the addicts of plastic. So that when it does finally happen, when somebody sensible and passionate about life, humanity, and the country finally comes together with others to make this happen for us, for the world, that we will not be junkies, plastic junkies, and now say, oh, so how will I buy my cuckoo? Oh, but how will I do this? How will I? Meanwhile, we all have to train ourselves or to wean ourselves off the plastic addiction, because we are just addicted to it, to something that we can live without, but we align to ourselves that it's so vital and important. This single-use plastic is just, it's dangerous and lazy.
And Sister Debbie, how has the response been since you started this whole advocacy of refusing recycling and reusing? You came up with a video recently. How has the response been?
Well, the video is not that recent. However, friends and people that I work with have changed their lifestyle. They go to buy their wachi in a bowl from their house, a bowl that they keep reusing. They refuse the rubber bag, so they take a brown paper bag. I remember my friend telling me that, hey, because of you now, I carry my woven basket to the market. So my few friends around me are making that conscious effort. Of course, it's not easy. It's a habit that you have to develop, and you have to make a conscious effort if you really care about the future generation, if you care about the ocean, which is very important to us, or if you just care about humanity. You have to make that conscious effort. Back in the day, as the two gentlemen said earlier on, we would go to the market with a reusable cloth bag. When it's dirty, you just wash it and you reuse it. You can keep it folded in your pockets, in your backpack. If you have a car, you keep it in the car. Or if you have a bicycle, you hang it onto the bicycle. You don't need to be taking rubbers all the time. And when you refuse a rubber bag, let's say black polythene from a street hawker, maybe someone selling oranges, you explain to her that, oh, you don't need it. It's going to end up choking the gutters and flooding our homes. You let them understand. You have a one-on-one conversation. It's not going to take all your time, and it's actually a very important thing to do. So I feel like individually, if everybody live this way, we could make a change. And I also feel like there could be like a reaction. So we keep refusing the rubber bags, then hopefully the market sellers or the street hawkers reduce the amount of, rubber bags they are buying. And I'm talking about the single-use plastics. And hopefully we stop manufacturing them. That's where the whole thing is going to be solved from. They have to stop manufacturing these single-use plastics.
That's a huge step you guys are taking, and we must commend you for it. Before I come back to Julius in the studio, let's read some comments that are coming on social media, some live tweets. Do well to send us your tweets as well on our social media handles at MX24G8 with the hashtag the AM Club. And some comments coming in. This is from Fabulously Wise. Says, need I remind you that a raining morning does not warrant that you dump your waste into a gutter. Hashtag the AM Club, hashtag get a bin. This one says, at Messy Peaches, waste management will be a challenge without waste bins. Hashtag get a bin. At Joe CoLN57 says, the only place rubbish must go is into a bin. If we can follow this principle, sanitation will always get better. At Peach Blue 5, no waste is too small not to matter. Imagine 8 billion straws littering everywhere because it's tiny. Interesting. Hashtag get a bin, and don't underestimate any waste. And then another comment at D_NAD_ says, a major problem of improper waste disposal is that it leads to hazards like environmental degradation, water pollution, soil pollution, and air pollution. Hashtag the AM Club. These are tweets coming in live on our pages. Remember, you can send yours to at MX24GH. But what do you make of the hashtag get a bin that is making the rounds on social media?
I think it's a good step. At least it's, when you look at the waste management hierarchy, there are a number of things that you need to put into consideration. The first one is prevention. That is waste avoidance. You trying as much as possible not to generate waste at all. That is like what One Love and Sister Debbie are talking about. You reuse the materials you have instead of taking a new poly bag. And then from prevention, we can go to reduction. That's where the reduce comes in. So now, if you have no option, if you really have to use a poly bag, try to make it just one.
Make it one, eh?
Instead of you putting your you buy cocoa, you buy kose, you buy toothbrush. People even put airtime,
granules,
airtime in plastic bag.
Airtime?
Yeah,
in plastic bags.
It's that crazy. It's that crazy. So when you are able to reduce, then now we go to the recycling bit. So the recycling is where you are supposed to separate your waste into different classifications, and then we get it recycled. The get a bin is going to lead into the last one, which is disposal.
Okay.
Or landfilling. Let's just take this table as a perspective. This is a land area where all our waste in Accra is going to dump at. So when they pick it from various homes, they bring it to this area. For how long would this place be viable for us to dump waste? Clearly, it's not sustainable. So then we need to make sure that disposal is not what we are encouraging. So even when we encourage people to get bins, it's not because they actually put all their waste into one dustbin and then we take it to the landfill. Because Ghana is so small and the population keeps increasing. We eventually not even get places to use for shelter.
Okay, hold that thought. Now, One Love, this is the first time, should I say the first time, but we are seeing citizens, Ghanaians, going on Twitter and advocating for people to get a bin and not blaming the government. What do you make of this thing going on?
I guess maybe they are seeing too much bola around them, and we are getting maybe saturated or overwhelmed by the filth around us, and people are also realizing, like they can't wait on the authorities to provide because of the behaviors we have been seeing from the authorities over the years. But at the same time, it's a good but sad step because, as our brother just said, that the bin is the last resort. So it's a good sign, but to me, who knows that if we don't ban plastic, like everything else is quite futile. It's a bit sad that instead of us jumping, it's almost like we are now finding out about the CD player. when already we are using Spotify and streaming. We are not even using pen drive anymore. And now somebody is coming out that, Charlie, everybody should buy a CD player. We shouldn't even be using that. We shouldn't have any plastic trash in existence, you know. So it's a good step, but it's quite, it's quite primal.
Is there an issue? Is there a challenge with authorities, or is it discipline on the part of citizens? What is it for you?
It's not one thing. It can never be one thing, because people are elected into positions because we trust that they are the best. They have the conviction, the knowledge, and they are people we respect and listen to. So we wait for them on instruction, just like you go to a classroom to listen to your professor or your teacher, and they're supposed to teach you the right things, and then make sure through disciplinary actions that, first of all, that you understand what you are being taught and why it's important and why we should follow through and do it. If a teacher now comes to the classroom to just greet and then goes to sit in the staff room and leaves you in the classroom to do whatever, to read whatever, to behave however, and later somebody comes to blame you for being a bad student and not reading your textbook, you should have known that you have to read your textbook. You could have followed the syllabus, blah, blah, blah. No, you are a youth and you need the teacher there for guidance. So when the leaders are doing their own thing and now expecting us to do their work for them, I think it's very unfair on the average Ghanaian citizen to blame us for the plastic, for the bola here and there, when our leaders are not being our teachers, being our guidance, being the people we elected them to be, and are just taking care of themselves instead of the whole country. So I cannot blame the average Ghanaian, because we are the students in the classroom.
All right. Well, let me quickly ask Engineer Solomon. How hard, as One Love and Sister Debbie, including Julius, have proposed, how hard will it be to ban plastic in Ghana?
Okay, so how hard? Yes, the plastic manufacturers themselves, I think they know the harm they are causing to the environment. And elsewhere, we have what we call the EPR schemes, Extended Producer Responsibility. So way back somehow, they realized that, and then they came together. And then the government of the day then set up a special fund or levy where whatever they import by way of virgin plastics into the country for further processing, they pay something. I'm not sure of the percentage. They pay, and such funds were accruing in the consolidated fund until date as we speak. A simple thing like a legislative instrument that should be promulgated or enacted just to set up the structure for how to administer that particular levy on plastics, so that we the stakeholders, that is, if I say we, the engineers or whatever, we will use that fund to design special treatment facilities to take up the very different grades of the plastic that they are churning into the environment. That hasn't been done. So insofar as the money sits in the consolidated fund, government after government finds it necessary to definitely use the money without applying it to the specific intention or the intended use of that money. I don't know whether I'm making myself clear.
You are.
Yes, so they are using the manufacturers, even though assuming we were adhering strictly to that, then we can be able to calculate and say that no, yes, you are doing your bit, but the amount you are contributing by way of the tax or the levy, special levy, is still not enough, because we might have practiced it, the fund, we might have put the scheme into implementation to know that yes, it costs so much to put up the machinery to process the waste, and therefore we must go a notch higher. But currently, because nothing is being done, they are also holding government to it. Anytime you raise the issue like One Love is saying we should ban, they will also come and say, yes, we contributed so much to government. Where is the money we contributed to be used in getting the residuals or the waste products from our manufacturing out to be processed? So if you are, you see that you find yourself in a fix. Right. But everything is not lost yet. We can go back to the drawing board and then leverage on this current sanitation levy tool that has been put up, where if you buy a liter of petrol, there is some percentage that is slapped to take care of sanitation.
Right.
This, when it accrues for some time, this is what we can use until we go back and start processing. You see, currently we are at the very bottom of the ladder of the sanitation hierarchy, to the extent that we don't even have an engineered landfill in the whole of, let's say, Greater Accra or Kumasi or whatever. We don't have. So whatever we have now is not in accordance with best practices.
Nice.
So the infrastructure definitely we need. Until we get the infrastructure, that is why we'll be climbing up and say, yes, practice reuse, practice prevention, and we'll be
Engineer. Yes, whatever we have now is not in accordance with best practices, says Engineer Solomon Noinwete, who is the director at the AMA. Before we go, your final comments. Let me begin with Sister Debbie. Ladies first, they say.
Well, yeah, so as one love said, we do have to ban plastic, and we can start with single-use plastics. Kenya has done it, Rwanda has done it, and as he said, we are all the same type of human beings, so it's not rocket science. We should be able to do the same thing. But in the meantime, individually, you can make sure each time you step out to go and buy fruits or a drink or even coconut water, carry your own reusable bag. Don't go each time empty-handed and take the black rubber or whatever rubber bag you are offered. And don't say, oh, they gave me rubber, that's why I had to take it. I always tell my friends, did they put a gun to your head to take the rubber bag? No. So try and have your own flask, of course, a reusable flask when you go out. And always remember that when you buy your hot soup in, like, you know, the rubber bag, all the carcinogenous chemicals seeps into the food. So in the end, you are eating all these chemicals from the polymers, from all the plastics. So just make the conscious effort to take your own reusable bowl, your own reusable bag when you are buying food or buying any item.
And let me say that we over here at the AM Club will be very excited to partner with you in this particular advocacy. We're excited that you're on this one. One Love, your final comments, please.
That means you have to play the video every day. That's one of the steps.
Which we are going to after this conversation, by the way, I must say.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. I commend you. So for me, like, people think advocacy and preaching are kind of the same thing. I mean, you have to find interesting ways of getting to people. Me, when I'm standing around, I used to tell people that would throw their pure water on the floor that, oh, it's not good, you shall find a rubber dustbin to put it in or whatever. But then I realized some of the youth, they will see like a boiler truck passing by and the wind is blowing the boiler truck, and some of the pure waters that have been properly disposed are flying out onto the road. So when a youth is thinking with like common sense and not wanting to waste their energy, they don't see the point or in why they should put it in the bin, when somehow, some way, they will meet some on the floor, because we haven't been taught that we have to take our individual action. So when somebody drops their pure water now on the floor, whether an old person or a youth or whatever, I immediately walk over and pick it up for them to see me picking it up. And then I look for a baller to go and put it in. Most of the time when I do that, they run after me to collect their rubber because they think I'm going to do them juju. Then they'll come and collect their own rubber back from me. And then they'll take it and look for a baller to put it inside. So I think that's a way you can also do. If you are passionate, when you see somebody dropping their rubber, don't tell them anything like, oh, why did you do that? Just go and take it for them. Fast, run to it and pick it up as if it's a gold. And let's see what they'll do after that.
Well, thank you for those comments. We truly appreciate you. Thank you so much, Sister Debbie. Thank you, One Love the Kobolo. Finally, we'll take your last comment, Julius, before we wrap up. Briefly, please.
To start with, thanks for having me. Usually when I go for any interview, I try to leave a take home to everybody at the studio and everybody listening or watching. Try this experiment, the extruded styrofoam, the takeaway pack.
Yeah.
Just take a new one and then squeeze a bit of lime, normal lime, on top of it. And come back to it in about a couple of hours. You're going to see the lime is going to corrode the pack, both the top and the down. So you probably see the juice on the table or wherever platform you put it. What am I driving at? These things are very harmful, especially if you put it in a microwave.
Or when you put the food in a takeaway pack?
You heat food in that kind of pack in a microwave. It's one of the causes of cancer. So I want to leave this with all of you. Please transfer your food into a better bowl whenever you want to heat it. These things we have copied blindly from the West. Nobody does this in the Western world, but we have copied it and we are killing ourselves prematurely. So I'll leave by saying that whoever you are, no matter your level of income, no matter what car you drive, no matter what you wear, will all be equally extinct if you fail to take a good care of the environment. So let's do it.
Thank you so much, Julius Jason. That was very, very educative, and I'm excited about it. Thank you so much for coming to our studio and to have the conversation with us. Also, let me thank the big man from AMA, Engineer Samuel. I want to get the name right again. Engineer Solomon Noete, rather, I should say. Thank you so much. He is Director of Waste Management at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, as well as siblings, One Love the Kobolo and Sister Debbie. And we wrap up this segment with a video from those siblings. That's One Love and Sister Debbie. This is entitled Refuse, Reuse and Recycle.
Can't swim the seas, the fish are dying.
Don't smell the breeze, no birds are flying.
Butterflies and bees, they are crying.
Animals and trees, hope we are trying.
Refuse, reuse, recycle. Try and ride your bicycle.
Underarms. You don't usually think about them. You protect them from sweat and odor, but that's not enough. What they need is something that takes care of them, so they feel good whatever you put them through. Introducing Dove Antiperspirant. It goes beyond 48-hour protection, giving you long-lasting dryness and soft, smooth underarms. Dove Antiperspirant. cares for your underarm skin like never before.
Opinions are like onions. Everybody has one.
Abortion is a no-no. As a human being, you must take responsibility for all your actions and inactions. Your misjudgment shouldn't be enough grounds to take a life.
No. I disagree with you because look, if you do not legalize it, people will go to quack doctors anyway who might end up not just kill the baby but the mother as well.
Why should I waste my time join a long queue under the hot sun to vote for a political party, knowing very well that nothing would be achieved at the end of the day?
Something will be achieved. It's your civic responsibility to turn out to vote. Vote and vote for a good leader.
Governments need to cater to every graduate, diversify the economy, invest in other sectors.
But the government cannot do it all. That is why we need the youth to take up the mantle and set up their own businesses. That is how we will create economic viability.
Here on Opposing Views, we take your views, my views, and the views of the experts and put them in the right context for you, our discerning viewers.
The news that matters the most is the news that hits closest to home. Politics, business, lifestyle, entertainment, whatever. Once it breaks, we are there.
If it touches you, your family, your community, or your safety, we've got it covered. You need to know what is happening in and around Ghana and on the international scene.
This is MX24 News.
And you are still watching the AM Club, where you are inspired, entertained, and of course informed right here on MX24. Remember, the conversation is still ongoing, so do make sure to use the hashtag the AM Club. So that was an amazing conversation you had on Lifestyle Daily.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed that.
Thank you. Absolutely. One love is a vibe.
He is. I was sitting here and I was really enjoying it, and I was laughing my head off at some of the comments that he was making. But I think it's very important. For example, when you go to the market, you buy onion, use plastic bag. You buy tomatoes, use plastic bag. You buy pepper, use plastic bag.
So are we proposing that young women or whoever goes to the market should carry a basket?
Yes, carry a basket or carry like a recycling bag. So they have these little brown bags that are you can recycle them. And if you're going to the market, just use those ones.
That's
and
true.
You can also take it home, wash it, put it somewhere, dry it, and then reuse it again. And it's much easier than having to carry or use plastic bags constantly for no reason, for one item. Like Juliet said,
you buy a scratch card,
airtime
scratch card, and they put it in a takeaway
That's
rubber.
absolutely crazy. But however, it's now time for today's hashtag Motivation Monday. That is the hashtag for today. So hashtag Motivation Monday, and we are going to make it a point to shine some light on some incredible personalities blazing the trail, hardworking men and women. So I got to meet one such of a woman over the weekend, and she played such an amazing role, an important role in the growth of football among women in Ghana. So I had a tete-a-tete with Mercy Tagore Kwako, who is the coach of the football national team for women and the Black Queen, and she's also the 2021 winner for excellence in sports in the Ghana Women of the Year honors. So let's have a look at my conversation, I like to say, with Mrs. Mercy.
Before the conversation, I envy you, man.
She's amazing,
I envy you.
The role that she played in women football in Ghana is so essential that when I was in her presence, I was like, oh.
I mean, I saw the pictures, I was like, woof.
Exactly. Anyways, let's have a look at the interview.
Mercy, thank you so much for having me and us, the whole team at MX24 at your residence.
You're welcome to my humble abode.
Thank you very much. So I hope that today we're going to have a great conversation, and it's going to be extremely inspiring, and a lot of people who watch are going to get motivated by your journey so far. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Let's go and have a seat.
Today on Motivational Monday, I am here with Mrs. Mercy Tagore Kwako, who is the head coach for the women's national football team the Black Queens, and a former player who played as a defender for the Black Queens. She was part of the team at the 1999 FIFA Women's World Cup in the United States. As one of the pioneers in women's football in Ghana, she again featured in the 2003 FIFA Women's World Cup. Mrs. Tago Kwako raised the bar for African referees on the continent when she officiated at the 2010 FIFA Women's World Cup stage in Germany. She was recently awarded Excellence in Sports at the Ghana Woman of the Year Awards presented by Glitz Africa. Mercy, thank you so much for coming on the AM Club.
Thank you very much.
Tell us your journey so far.
Thank you very much and welcome to my home. Just as you all know, I'm a sportswoman, a staunch one for that matter, and a national team coach. But prior to that, I think I've gone through a whole lot of sporting activities. I was once an athlete. I was a high jump champion in the Western region where I schooled. I came to Accra or Tema to continue my athletics in the greater Accra region, but unfortunately somewhere along the line I had to switch to football because I had a good friend who was then playing for the national team, Black Stars. His name is Simon Addo, the brother of Joe Addo, the then national team player. Basically what they used to do in Tema was that annually they play fun games. So ladies were being drawn from all angles to form a team in the various sites. Tema, we have sites and we have communities. So the sites, they developed some kind of interest for women's football just to create fun. Every end of year, during the Christmas festivities, those are part of the activities that they normally do. So I found myself in my friends' community, let's say site 16. So I played for them. Some of the ladies were very good then. And I think people saw it and they fell in love with it. And some.
So just from being an athlete, you went into football just like that, and that was it, you got it. I mean, sometimes if you've ever played sports before, it's quite easy for you to transition from one sport to the other. Yeah, that's very true.
But the thing is, I used to train at Accra Sports Stadium, and Accra had to folk and Olympics were used to also train at the Accra Sports Stadium. So the interest started from there. So when I came to Tema and this thing was there for me to enjoy, I decided to just give it all out and decided to play for one of the sites. That is after some time, a group of men came together to form a club, and not from only Tema only, from Accra, suburbs of Accra. So we started playing regional league. Yes. So basically, this is how it all started.
So it started at what age exactly?
I can't give you the specific age because I had then completed O-level. Yes. So
tell us the transitioning from there. So being an athlete, footballer, coach, and also a referee. So all that transition, tell us about that.
You know, life is about planning. You need to plan your life in such a way that you wouldn't fall short along the way. So when I was playing football, I knew there would be a time I would not be able to play as I was doing then. So I planned it in such a way that I love football. I sleep football. I eat football and I read football. I watch.
That's fantastic.
So when I decided to, I had that plan to quit football in future. I just decided to start something that involves football. So I was just contemplating: is it coaching? Is it administration? Is it refereeing? So fortunately, where I used to play a lot, that is where the referees, Tema Referees Association, have their meetings. And I had a friend within, and he said, well, I look very athletic and I can be a referee. So one time, a lady referee called Christina Tete came, a very smallish lady, came to officiate then the Division 1, let's say Division 1, Kotoko and Afienya United. And how she went about, or her officiating, in fact, really enticed me. Yes, I fell in love with that activity. So I said, no, I think I can also do it. Already I had spoken with a friend who was in the referee. So he said, oh, yes, you can do it. So I should write an application. So he even wrote the application for me and submitted it. And I went for an interview and I did a fitness test. I passed and I became a potential referee. Then I was still playing because I didn't want to quit playing, come and sit down and think of what to do next. So I needed the transition to be very smooth and swift. So immediately I came back from the World Cup as a player. I just wrote to the Referees Association because I had then written the exam and I had passed. So I was then a class 3 referee. And I wrote to them that I'm no more in active play. So I want to concentrate on refereeing. So I was accepted back into the refereeing fraternity and I continued from class 3. I wrote exam class 2 and I passed. Class 2, we don't normally write exams. We go through assessment during your matches. And you realize that, yes, I could do better. So I passed in class 2, class 1. I passed, then I had my FIFA badge. And that is how came those FIFA World Cup international matches here and there. Yes.
That's fantastic. So in terms of the challenges that you face in your profession, what are they? Because football itself, people would say it's a male-dominated industry. And in England, for example, the first recorded game of football between women was in 1895. And even with that, prior to any games that involved women playing football, it was rejected. And during the 1895 game, there was a lot of backlash from the media. They didn't even concentrate on the game itself, but what the women wore, their bodies, how they looked like when they were playing football, and all of that. So over the years, it has gotten better, of course. But then what has been the challenges, would you say, in your professions?
It hasn't been easy, believe you me. The road is, I will still say, because I'm still into football, very rough, very, very rough. But it takes someone who has the passion for what she is doing, dedicated, discipline, and you need to focus. These are the elements that helped me to get to where I am today. When I was a player, I had a lot of challenges, but I didn't, from the family, from the media, from my society, everywhere. But, you know, I had that in mind that I needed to focus. So I was just moving on and on and on and on. And when it comes to refereeing is something that I can't even go into details because it's not easy. It isn't easy. Sometimes you ask yourself, why must a man have this rift with a woman? You are a referee, you are a male referee, I'm a female referee. Though we are all officiating the same premiership, my name can never be changed to a man's name. Neither your name could be changed to a woman's name. So, but then it gets to a certain level or a time where they think these matches, I was supposed to go for these matches and Messi has been giving these matches. Why? Meanwhile, it is your performance that pushes you to. And a whole lot. I'm a married woman. I have kids. I have a husband I need to attend to. Thank God my husband understands. Whenever I travel out of the country, I leave him alone with the kids. In a nutshell, it hasn't been easy. There's so much challenges on the way, but you know, perseverance, dedication, and discipline.
That's actually what's going to be my next question in terms of the 3 things that you would say motivates you and keeps you going, but you just mentioned them right now. And in terms of having to have passion for what you do, how do you think is important? But before you answer that question, actually, let me ask you, now we've talked about the challenges in football, especially women's football. Would you say there's any advantages as well? There's any winning from being in sports as a woman, especially here in Ghana?
For me, I'll say yes, because had it not been these sports, I don't think you would waste all this time, drive all the way from your destination to my home.
Yes.
You needed to hear something and look at that Messi you've been seeing all the time on TV, you know. So in a way, it has really helped. And sometimes I go to certain places and I need to pay certain monies to do something. And the mere fact that Messi is known on the screen, oh, Messi, come. Sometimes they give you priority, yeah, you know, and it's some kind of something that boosts me in the things that I do. My husband also chest out, and my children are proud of me. And I'm okay.
So now you spoke about a few challenges in terms of family growing up and wanting to venture into football or in sports in general. So how important would you say it is for parents, especially parents in Ghana, to invest in their children's potentials or in their belief or in their abilities as well?
Let me chip in those. I remember years back, okay, let's say my time, myself, or I'll use myself as an example. My family didn't want us to accept the fact that I want to play football, and I had to always sneak to go and play football until I was invited into the national team, and it was shown on TV before they all got to know that, hey, so all this while you were playing football and we didn't know, you know, because I remember my big brother, the one I come immediately after, used to beat me a lot. Why should I go and play football? Mama is at the kitchen. Why are you here going to play football? No, I won't allow it. And we'll be fighting here and there until I had my breakthrough. Then he accepted the reality. So now the system is in such a way that even the parents themselves drive their daughters to training grounds for us to coach them. God willing, the club that I'm coaching, Berry Ladies, on Monday and Tuesday, we are having a justifier. And I've had a lot of calls from parents. Yes. They want to know the venue. What time are we doing the justifier? And these are positive signs. It wasn't like that during my time. Now things have changed. And I believe that it will change for the better.
Fantastic. So recently, for the Ghana Woman of the Year honors by Glitz Africa, you won excellence in sports, and you were awarded for your excellence in sports. In terms of all the awards that you've achieved in your lifetime, and there's many, as you can see on my beautiful table here, well, really and truly your beautiful table. There's so many awards here from FIFA, from the Women African Cup Championship, okay, and then we have this one, a citation from Ghana Woman of the Year Honor 2021 by Glitz Africa, which is fantastic. Out of all the awards that you won, which one means the most to you? And which one, when you look at it, you're like, wow, I did this, and I have this award in my home representing my achievement?
Unfortunately, I don't have a specific one. I cherish all
of them.
Me, and especially the Presidential Award.
Wow. Which one is that one?
That's one.
Amazing. Okay. So this is the Presidential Globe African Heroes Honors presented to Mrs. Mercy Tagore Kwakwe as the head coach of the Black Queens. Wow. Pan-African Heroes Foundation. This one.
I guess you love it.
That is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So in that sense, how does it make you feel when you receive all these awards for your achievement? Because the road has not been easy, of course. The road as a woman also has not been easy. But when you feel people cherishing you for your work, wow, the coach of the women's national football team, you know, and you hear your name, you see yourself on TV, your children adore your accomplishments so far. How does it make you feel as a person?
Believe you me, it makes me feel great and good and gives me the zeal to continue what I'm doing. And it really encourages me, believe me, it does. When you are doing something and somebody realizes it and even comment alone, it boosts the morale and gives you the strength to continue what you are doing.
So now, if there's any young girl or young boy watching you who'd want to venture into sports because they have a passion for sports, any type of sports, but especially football, what advice would you give them?
What I normally say is that the road is not smooth as people say it outside there, but then it depends on you, the individual. You need to love what you want to venture, and you need to have passion for it. Dedicated and disciplined. The key word here is discipline. Unfortunately, we female normally encounter so many ugly things along the way, but it depends on you, the individual. If you are able to learn. It's not only training. You need to also learn and always make sure you are abreast with time so that you will not be taken for granted. Work your way through. As you are learning, you are training. So when the time comes for you to perform, nobody will just lure you and say, let me do this so that you get the opportunity. Yes. Let your work talk for you. Yes. So that when the way comes and you pave the way for yourself, you can easily walk through. So I wish every young girl who wants to have this passion like I do in football to listen to what I'm saying. Work your way through, work extra hard, have passion for what you want to do, and believe in yourself.
Thank you so much, Mercy, for inviting us to your home and having a sit down with myself, Edma Ohima Lawa, your host at the AM Club. Do remember, continue to hashtag the AM Club. Today was Motivational Monday, and we'll be coming with so many more interviews with key personalities every single Monday on the AM show, showing live on MX24. Thank you.
Showing live on MX24.
24. How did you find the interview?
Oh, it's beautiful.
She was very inspirational.
It's beautiful. I could tell you were just glowing the whole time.
I was literally smiling at what she was saying to me. And obviously behind the scenes, we had an extensive conversation as well. She asked me what sports I was into. I was like, I used to ice skate. I used to play tennis. I used to run 100 meters, 200 meters long jump. She was like, wow. I was like, yeah. Anyways.
Great woman in the presence of another great woman. But what I took away was what she said lastly, that, you know, add to training, because, you know, sports people like to just train and not do anything else. So add to training, you know, some financial literacy. He said learn, study, add financial literacy, communication skills, you know, so nobody would, you know, take you for a ride.
Absolutely. Now let's read some live tweets from Twitter. And Favor Empire says, Mercy is an inspiration to not just women but men as well. I love her personality. Hashtag the AM Club. Hashtag MX24. Hashtag Motivation Monday. Penny Mensa said, I loved football when I was much younger. I used to play at inter-school matches and I was really good at it, but my parents forbid me from following that passion. Until date, I regret it. I think parents should allow their kids to be who they want to be and not what parents think they should be. Hashtag MX24. Hashtag Motivation Monday. Hashtag the AM Club. Now, Christine Ado said, brain, skills, hard work, she has it all. I am a huge fan. Hashtag the AM Club and hashtag MX24. Ayan Fashola said, I am always happy to see a successful woman and hear her story. Thank you, MX24. Hashtag DM Club, hashtag MX24. Now let's take one more live tweet from Jen_Nia. She says, Mercy was really inspiring. Perseverance and being strategic is key. Hashtag Motivation Monday, hashtag DAM Club, hashtag MX24. That was absolutely beautiful. I love the tweets that came in just now. It was great.
And Messi is very beautiful, I must add.
Yeah, she is. And like the way you could tell, the way she was walking and everything, I was like, yeah, this is a woman. Like she's hardcore.
It's okay. Great stuff. Great stuff. I can't wait to see who we'll have next week. We're going for a break now, but when we return, we'll take a look at the just ended Homowo Festival in all its splendor through the eyes of AM Club member and travel blogger Akosia Shelley, aka Area Girl with Branding. Stay with us.
Absolutely.
underarms. You don't usually think about them. You protect them from sweat and odor, but that's not enough. What they need is something that takes care of them, so they feel good whatever you put them through. Introducing Dove Antiperspirant. It goes beyond 48-hour protection, giving you long-lasting dryness and soft, smooth underarms. Dove Antiperspirant cares for your underarm skin like never before.
Hey Jack, information will react you, and the way information they. That be why you for join me on MX24. See, wherever the topics day, the stories day on social media, we are going to comb through the annals of the internet. We could disintegrate all the topical issues on social media. You see, when it comes to social media, you know how we do it, right? So yes, join the conversation because you know what? It is about to go down.
How is your morning going? Welcome back to the AM Club, your authoritative morning show. We are broadcasting from our Silicon Square studio here in East Legon. My name is Godwin Namboh. I'm here with the beautiful Ohima Edma.
Yes.
Lawa. Now it's time to get straight into it. Over the weekend, one of the most celebrated festivals, which is Homowo, was commemorated by the Ghans. Now, one interesting aspect of the Homowo celebration is the Twin Festival, which is traditionally known as Ye Ye Ye. All twins from Gamashi, both the young and old, gorgeously dressed in white apparels and paraded the town. Now, the twins are given special baths to cleanse themselves, and then special mashed yam known as Uto is prepared for them amidst the beautiful Palogo dance. Now, our AM Club member and travel blogger Area Girl with Branding was live at the festival and is here to share her experience with us. Akosia Shelley, or should I say Area Girl with Branding?
Yeah.
Charlie, you be serious? Or?
I'm telling you.
Area Girl with Branding. I can see the branding. Look at her dress. There's a green, white, and I see a green, white in her sneakers as well.
Wow.
Sketches.
Branding.
Yes, I don't remember the last time I saw Sketches.
It's coming back.
You are not playing, or yeah. But anyway, what's before we go into it, what does Area Girl? Where did you get that from?
It's like the girl next door vibe, okay, but with a little bit of branding because you know we are going international and all that.
International Sunday.
Absolutely. Okay, so Shirley, so before we get into this whole conversation, I mean, you've just explained to us where you got your name from, but also when it comes to the festival, was it your first time there? And if it was, how did you take, or what did you make of the festival?
It was my first time there.
Okay.
And what I took away from it is that the guys are the most creative, expressive group of people that I've ever been around. Like, really? I was so in awe of the energy and the diversity and the creativity. Like, there was so much going on. I couldn't even document it all.
Okay. But then, in terms of the Homowo Festival itself, like, what do you know about it? Prior to you attending, did you know anything about it?
I just knew that there was a festival and there was a sprinkling and there was a band before that. That was about all that I knew about it. So this was a way for me to get to know more for myself. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I am half Ghan, so I have seen it. I'm half Ghan, I must say, proudly. Half Ewe, half Ghan. I've seen the Ye 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 festival. I've seen, the ritual. I've seen the Homowo festival itself. I've experienced it. I've had Kukwe, you know. So it's a beautiful festival, I must say. And like you said, we are the most expressive people.
Extremely.
The energy Ghans have. It's crazy. And if you understand the language, the Ghans out there will agree with me.
Yeah.
If you understand the language, it's one funny language, I tell you. Even when you're being insulted, it's just funny.
Yes, I think humor is a huge thing. And it's like if you don't understand Ghana, it feels aggressive.
Yeah.
But when you understand it,
you know,
it feels really aggressive.
I digress a little bit. I did an ad for a product, and I did it in Ghana. It's a cooking show, and I did it in Ghana. And the comment that came was, is it Ga you're speaking? Like they just couldn't believe that Ga could, not sound aggressive.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful language, I must. It's just my people, and we came with it.
And I heard that it's because they live by the sea, they have to shout more so that they can hear themselves.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, that sort of thing.
Wow.
That sort of thing. But you experienced it.
Yeah.
What was the experience for you?
So my experience started with the Twin Festival, and like I probably would get goosebumps if talking about it, because I think the other beautiful thing was to see the people go through what they were going through, as in those who were carrying the stuff that they were carrying, and like it was pain, it was humor, it was sadness, and then people would just be cheering them on, and if somebody would fall, somebody would be there to pick them up. It was such a beautiful thing to observe, right? And then also finding out what it all means, and the fact that it's still being maintained in these times, like I'm totally excited about it. And then the Homowo was just beautiful. Me, I was just very impressed with the traditional wear, the war cloth, finding out that each emblem on it has a meaning, and each of them is to fight the enemy on spiritual levels and stuff like that. I was so impressed.
I'm itching to see what you got us.
Yes.
So let's go and look at the video from the Homowo Festival.
Yes.
Okay, so that's Ni Ajaben Ankra.
Yes.
He's
the supreme head of the Manche family, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Ni Ajaben Ankra the second.
The second, yes.
So what was he doing at that point?
He was pouring libation, offering prayers, and then now that's the pokpoi.
Yeah.
Pokpoi.
Which people call quickly. We've corrupted it and call it quickly.
Can I tell you that was like the best smelling
palm nut soup.
Palm nut soup at the whole place. I was like, wait, I can't wait to
You're
dive
making me
in.
hungry right now.
So what do you make it with? Like a palm nut?
Yes.
So it's basically palm nut soup. I believe it's only fish I saw in
Godwin, I've never had some before.
What do you make palm nut soup with?
Yes. And that's corn. Palm nut. That's fresh corn that has been through the mill, and steam was used to cook it. So I think if you don't know anything, you can compare it to acheke. Visually,
I know acheke.
Yes, so then you can think. Then they mix it with palm oil, and this is him divided. And I was really impressed because it was hot, especially when they mixed the soup and the meat and shared it equally. I was impressed. Like.
And the lady speaking right now, what was she saying?
So we have a guy here. What was she saying?
Oh, I mean, I can't hear it. So if I could hear it, I could say, I could. I mean, it's a cultural thing. It's a song there. Is that a crab?
No, fish.
Wow, it looks huge. It looks like a crab.
Yeah, it did.
That would have been a huge crab.
So it was chants and war songs and fun things, even some profanity in there, but it was fun.
Hopefully we blurred the profanity, because I know my people will certainly land one in there. Guns don't play. They do not play. But that's a lot. So and what he's going to be doing is that he's going to be sprinkling the pokpoi around as they move across the
floor.
Yeah.
Yes, and every household. So here I found out that the distribution is because they went through the famine together, right? And the birds, the animals, the people, the ancestors all went through together. So if we've conquered the famine and we are eating, we should all eat.
Share it.
Yeah, so it was so beautiful to also observe that after it had been distributed, the animals would run to it and stuff like that. I just got
so everybody must take part in the festival and eat and enjoy,
yes,
including
because
animals.
we all suffered together, so we must enjoy
There's
it
a great meaning behind
And for the sake of Edma and our bougie AM club members, the meaning of Homowo means goodbye to hunger. Basically, no more hunger. And like she said, they went through it. So
thank you.
So it's eating and marrying.
In-house specialist.
I know, right?
Thank you
but
very
like
much.
you said, when you were reading the intro, you said oto. Is it eto or oto?
The Gans call it oto.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Akans call it eto.
Yes.
We call it Oto.
Yes.
Oto.
Okay, because when you said that, I was like, Oto, Eto. Is it the same thing? Or
It's the same. It's basically the same thing, but we pronounce it differently.
Language.
You know, sometimes chi and ga. You know.
I didn't know.
Sometimes it does.
I had a few. I'm like, is he speaking ga or does
Sometimes I don't know who picked from who. I don't know whether the cheese.
Crossing is really interesting.
What was your favorite part of the entire festival?
I think my favorite part was the twins, the twin festival. Then I've never seen so many twins.
They weren't naked, were they? They had white.
No, they weren't.
But they had to dress in white, right?
No, so yes, some of them were dressed in white, and some of them really dressed up. There were even some that dressed up as pilots and things that they want to be in future. There was a whole.
That's new.
Yes, there was a whole parade. The family created a ship, and they had their captains in there who happened to be the twin boys. It was beautiful. Like I was so.
And we have pictures of it, don't we?
Yes, we
have pictures of it. So you show us. We're going to splash some of those pictures on your screens right now.
Look at the little
there it is.
Children.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This is beautiful.
I like to call them Ahimfie children.
Are these real gold? I'm thinking.
I think that just for safety
they will
measures,
not put, they will not use real gold, of course.
Bring
the time that the real ones would come, but
exactly,
yes.
Okay.
So don't be deceived. This is not real gold. Don't go and attack them. We beg you. And then that's Nia Jabe Ankara II.
Yes.
Like you said.
Point libation and distributing.
In your pictures, with the best. What do you call it? Best Pamno soup area girl has ever smelled. And then
these two are.
That's the wall cloth I was talking about. And you see the different emblems, but these are replicas. The real ones are there as well.
Okay, fantastic. And in terms of the dancing, what dance was it? What dance was performed there? Palogo. Because I know that at festivals like there's a traditional festival, there's always a certain type of dance that is displayed there. So Palogo.
Palogo is a beautiful dance.
We're actually
I know how to do it. Is it the one that you do?
Wow, she's going to overtake me.
Is it the one that you do?
Go ahead, please.
And then you
do as the yes. Anybody can dance when you're sitting.
Seriously, is it the one that you do?
Oh, I can't. You do African studies in school or something?
No, I know because I know how to dance. I do very well. So like this one, I know, and you do this.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
I know it.
Yes,
I know.
But it was beautiful. And you know the beautiful thing about Malawi? You know guys are also very endowed.
Yeah.
Most guys are very endowed. So when they do that and they are shaking their body, it adds to
I'm sure
it's aesthetics.
It's a sight to see.
Thank you very much, says the skinny girl. But anyways, those are sights and sounds from the Namboh Festival over the weekend. Area girl with branding. Akosia Shelley is bringing us these images and videos from the Namboh Festival. Very beautiful, I must say. I can now I wish I had gone with you.
But how many times do they do in a year? Just once?
It was just once.
Yes.
Okay.
But there's a series of stuff that happened before this.
Yeah, because I know there's the ban on drumming, there's all these things that they prepare towards the festival.
The planting, the harvesting.
And the celebration is in succession. So it starts from, I'm not sure if it's James the Gamashi, I think.
Yes.
And then, follows through.
I think that's also the awesome thing because at every point,
there's a celebration.
Doing something.
It's beautiful.
Fantastic.
Akosia Shelley, thank you so much for
Thank you so much for having me.
It was a pleasure.
It's exciting. I hope to be there next year.
Absolutely.
It's going to be amazing. But thank you very much, Akosia Shelley. Also, remember, if you were at the Namboh Festival, if you have pictures, look, this is the AM Club. You were very much a part of it. So do send us your pictures, your video reactions, your comments, all on our social media handles at MX24GH on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll also share our WhatsApp line on the screen for you to send those comment and reactions to. We'll be right back.
Opinions are like onions. Everybody has one.
Abortion is a no-no. As a human being, you must take responsibility for all your actions and inactions. Your misjudgment shouldn't be enough grounds to take a life.
No. I disagree with you because look, if you do not legalize it, people will go to quack doctors anyway who might end up not just kill the baby but the mother as well.
Why should I waste my time, join a long queue under the hot sun to vote for a political party, knowing very well that nothing would be achieved at the end of the day?
Something will be achieved. It's your civic responsibility to turn out to vote. Vote and vote for a good leader.
Governments need to cater to every graduate, diversify the economy, invest in other sectors.
But the government cannot do it all. That is why we need the youth to take up the mantle and set up their own businesses. That is how we will create economic viability.
Here on Opposing Views, we take your views, my views, and the views of the experts and put them in the right context for you, our discerning viewers.
The news that matters the most is the news that hits closest to home. Politics, business, lifestyle, entertainment, whatever. Once it breaks, we are there.
If it touches you, your family, your community, or your safety, we've got it covered. You need to know what is happening in and around Ghana and on the international scene.
This is MX24 News.
Shut up and bend over, eh? And let your backer do the talking over. So back up, back up.
You guys are doing beyond what a regular would do, and I'm attracted more to that. I like people who want to do something different, you know, not the usual TV.
What's up, guys? Your boy Kiddy, aka the Golden Boy, aka Sugar Daddy. Catch me on MX24.
It is fun, it is fearless, it is factual.
Hey, Abrantia, Aketesia, EB Family, Charlie, MX24. My baby, must say, baby, about them people that do Mama and bad.
Hey guys, this is your girl, Miss Sasha.
This is the best MC, best hype man in Ghana 2020. I beg you, success, the highest MC. Keep watching MX24.
It is fun, it is fearless, it is factual.
Messon, ni besibia, Messon.
Hello guys and welcome to Home Fit. Home Fit is a fitness show designed to take care of all your fitness needs. I'm your trainer Brad and I will be taking you through a series of workouts. After a great workout, let's talk nutrition.
Hey, Abrantia, Aketesia, EB Family, Charlie, MX24. My baby, must say, baby, about them people that do Mama and bad.
Hey guys, this is your girl, Miss Sasha.
This is the best MC, best hype man in Ghana 2020. I beg you, success, the highest MC. Keep watching MX24.
It is fun, it is fearless, it is factual.
Messon, ni besibia, Messon.
Hey guys, welcome back to the AM Club. We are live from our studio here in East Legon. Remember our hashtag is the AM Club. Man, what a show it's been. It's our first
been
day.
Amazing. Our very first day.
I'm super excited.
I'm so happy. I've actually had so much fun, and we also want to say a very big thank you to all our guests. Please mention their names.
Okay, so we have Engineer Solomon Noy from the AMA. We have One Love the Kobolo. We had Sister Debbie, the African Mermaid. We also had Julius Jason, who's an environmentalist. And then we wrapped it all up with Akosia Shelley, a.k.a. Area Girl with branding.
Yes.
Man, what a show it's been. I'm excited.
It's been amazing. And thank you so much, you, our viewers, for sending in your tweets and also interacting with us.
Okay.
Oh, what's going on here? What's going on? What's going on?
Grandpapa.
What is going on?
Grandpapa is here. Look at this, boss. Boss came in.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Reggie.
much. Good morning.
Good morning. You're blessed.
Thank you so much.
It's funny. Full squad. The family's here.
Exactly. Family is here. Thank you.
And you're
an
in
amazing
orange
surprise.
too.
Yeah.
You're in our colors too.
Exactly.
We called Brother Twan and asked for the setup.
Look at that.
So
you came prepared.
We got every color in these t-shirts. So
whatever
set we go on. Check it out now, blended.
No, Reggie, it's exciting to see you.
Thank you, sir.
On our first broadcast.
Yes, it is. Yes, indeed. But I'm usually first for most things.
Zilla,
so
it's good to see you.
Am I bringing the wache over, or am I
coming over?
Are you coming over?
Can we eat the wache? Can we eat the wache on set?
Of course.
Okay.
My goodness.
Yes.
What's
Forget that.
Thank you.
Oh man.
Thank you.
This is good. So which one is this? Because I know you have packages.
Yeah, this is the fully loaded.
These are fully loaded.
You can see the avocado.
And I see a lot of folks don't know how to open this. Let me show you.
How do you open it?
Well, we've done a good job
Original
opening
style, yeah, because you did the African American version. This one, uyi free how? We free asiena. Oyo no kakra. Na we bie so say. We be haso so. Nanyen. Yeah, so there you go.
Wow.
So you just
my
open
Monday morning has been made.
Of course. Your shita is on point. And there you go. So you got everything in there.
Avocado
Pear.
Can I like to taste my
I think one thing that is missing is they're supposed to be using their hands.
Yes. But you know, we were colonized by the British, so
we'll take
I know my brother, so my better.
My goodness. Do I need water first? Or I can just go for it?
Mix it up, box it up. Now, camera for comedy moment, so I know. More from the bonnet in Cham. Montanium, no Reggie.
I mean, I've had this before. This is really great. Your shito is wow. It's giving me that when I was a young guy.
That's what sets us apart.
So much,
guys.
Thank you so much, Reggie.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I was saying Corona, you know.
Delta Force. Would you watch Delta? No.
The pepper will do the trick.
Yeah, the pepper will do the trick. Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, Reggie, so how can people get in touch with you when they want?
Oh, you just call the number 0500 500 501
and 0244496969.
Okay.
So what born
0500 500 501 0244496969.
Okay, I just found my camera. 0500 500 501.
0244496969.
Okay, well, thank you so much to all our viewers for watching the AM show. Like I said, continue to send in your thoughts and comments on all our social media platforms at MX24GH. My name is Edma Ohima Lawa.
And my name... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Hey, let me finish.
Let
me tell them what my social media handle is. At Edma Lawa. On all social media platforms.
But when you go to Edma's page, you see me there, so you see my name too. But my name is Godwin Namboh, as Godwin Namboh on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It's been good having you on our very first show. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp. Remember, hashtag the AM Club. Have a beautiful Monday.
Have a beautiful Monday.
Ready? Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I am. I brand to my bro, me now Kamada. But music, I'm a baby, no about. I'm a baby, no about. Tell me, Bana, Kamani. Tell me, Bana, Kamani. Can't give me the survey. I can't take it in the survey. Tell me, Bana, Kamani. Tell me, Bana, Kamani. I can't take it in the survey. I can't take it in the survey.
Opinions are like onions. Everybody has one.
Abortion is a no-no. As a human being, you must take responsibility for all your actions and inactions. Your misjudgment shouldn't be enough grounds to take a life.
No. I disagree with you because look, if you do not legalize it, people will go to quack doctors anyway who might end up not just kill the baby but the mother as well.
Why should I waste my time joining a long queue under the hot sun to vote for a political party, knowing very well that nothing would be achieved at the end of the day?
Something will be achieved. It's your civic responsibility to turn out to vote. Vote and vote for a good leader.
Governments need to cater to every graduate, diversify the economy, invest in other sectors.
But the government cannot do it all. That is why we need the youth to take up the mantle and set up their own businesses. That is how we will create economic viability.
Here on Opposing Views, we take your views,